Demon here. Okay, so Roseanne premiered uh, a couple days ago, and they brought it back. It's the 10th season, I believe, of the original series. Original series was great. It was blue-collar comedy. It was, for the most part, apolitical, but it would deal with social issues. It was fair. It was balanced. It was funny, most importantly. Roseanne Barr is a true star. I mean, she's genuinely a funny person. She's a woman who can make me laugh as hard as any male comedian can, and there's only a few comedians, I think, out there that are truly funny. Most of them are dead, like George Carlin and Richard Pryor. But Roseanne certainly is a superstar, something Amy Schumer could never hope to be, or Sarah Silverman. She's a genuine artist and class act. And not without controversy. I mean, with her horrible rendition of the national anthem, and now people on the left are attacking her because there's a picture of her dressed as Hitler putting gingerbread cookies into the oven, even though Charlie Chaplin and Mel Brooks did plenty of Hitler spoofs dressed up as him. Whatever. So, after Tim Allen's show was canceled, Last Man Standing. He's a conservative guy and a Trump supporter. ABC received a lot of blowback, and that was a very highly rated show. And I didn't watch it, but my sister and brother-in-law certainly watched it and really liked it. They were upset that it was canceled. And it was about 6 seasons into its run, but from what I've been told, it was just finding its stride. So that was canceled. ABC received some blowback, and then suddenly the Roseanne revival was announced. She's a Trump supporter. She's center-left on economic issues, a social libertarian. Not really political, but she votes for Trump. She hails from the Midwest. She has a lot of Midwest pro-family values. And she deals with certain social issues that a lot of Midwesterners deal with. Midwesterns tend to be blue-collar Democrats. They're certainly not corporate Republicans, nor are they upper-class progressives. So Roseanne deals with the show, or deals with social issues on the show. She talks about some of the political divide. Her sister Jackie is a snowflake, and she's a deplorable, and there was a bit of a rift. And Jackie shows up to the house, and she's like, "Hello, deplorable." She's wearing a pussy hat and a nasty girl or a nasty woman shirt. And, they make up in about 10 minutes, but it's funny. And, this is what comedy should do. It should make people laugh at their differences and bring them together. And I think this is what America needs right now. Anyways, the show was a huge success. 18 million viewers tuned in. A bunch of people, 18 to 25, tuned in, which is huge, especially considering Roseanne and John Goodman are old. But I think people are craving for this because one, it's good comedy, it's well written, well acted, and it's sincere. And two, it's serving a market that's starved for this type of content. We get nothing but New York, Hollywood types of social values, and we just don't see any regular normal people from the Midwest. And these are people, they voted for Trump not because they're diehard Republicans, but because he hit certain political notes that no other politician was speaking to them on. So people were very surprised that Trump won the election, and likewise they're surprised that Roseanne has become such a huge hit. There is a massive portion of the country that's just being ignored. So here we go with the article. Roseanne revival's huge debut stuns Hollywood, prompts soul searching. Roseanne made a triumphant return Tuesday night, blowing out past projections with a 5.2 adults 18 to 49 rating and 18.2 million total viewers for the debut of its revival, which remarkably drew 10% more viewers than the original series finale 21 years ago. While nostalgia was expected to bring in eyeballs, no one predicted such a huge turnout on premiere night for the blue-collar family sitcom with a Donald Trump supporting protagonist. Well, that's not controversial, a Donald Trump supporting protagonist. Outside of New York and LA, it's not controversial. especially among the younger demographic. But then, few predicted that Trump would become the Republican nominee and would win the presidential election when he first announced his candidacy. Okay, stop. Winning the general presidential election, yeah, I mean, that's a surprise to a lot of people, probably to the Trump campaign themselves. But winning the primary was no surprise. I mean, I don't care how loud the conservative media was against him and how louder the mainstream media was against him. Everyone else he was running against was a corporate shill. I mean, Trump's talking about limiting immigration because it hurts domestic wages, and he's talking about renegotiating these unfettered globalist trade deals, which are killing American jobs. So, I mean, to me, I was like, yeah, he's definitely going to win, of course. All right, back to the article. Both Trump and Roseanne were able to tap into the often overlooked and underserved working class audience. Well, more of a blue-collar audience, not necessarily working class. Especially the portion that holds mostly conservative views. Not surprisingly, the top TV markets where Roseanne delivered its highest ratings were in states handily carried by Trump in election. Number one was Tulsa in Oklahoma, which Trump won with 65.3% of the vote. It was followed by Cincinnati, Ohio, and Kansas City, Missouri. Notice these are Midwestern states. The only marquee city from a blue state in the top 10 was Chicago at number 5. Well, Illinois is a red state, dominated by a blue city, which is Chicago, where the area where the series is set. ABC focused some of its marketing efforts in the region with a preview of the revival at the 54th Chicago International Film Festival. The top market of the country, New York, was not in the top 20. Number 2, Los Angeles, was not in the top 30. Stop. Okay, notice. There you go. New York and Los Angeles, where the TV industry is mostly based and mostly focuses on. Their tastes aren't in line with the rest of the country. I mean, yeah, the rest of us, we watch what they watch. But, oh my gosh, we just want other stuff out there. We just don't want to watch stuff about a bunch of hipsters or, alternative families and lifestyles. We just want to see people that we see every day in regular America. And Hollywood's just ignored that for the longest time. That's why a lot of people watch reality shows, is because that's the only place you can see a regular Joe Schmo and his wife, fixing up a house or something. So it'd be nice to see scripted television start focusing on regular America. Back to the article. And yet Roseanne delivered the highest demo rating for any comedy telecast in 3.5 years. Since the fall 2014 season premiere of TV's biggest comedy series in the past 5 years, The Big Bang Theory. There no doubt was an element of nostalgia and curiosity about how the characters from the original series have changed and about the new generation of the Connors. But Roseanne went beyond that. Its youngest 18 to 49 viewers, when the series originally aired on ABC from 88 to 97, are now at the very top or outside of that ad-friendly demographic range, in which last night's premiere posted a staggering 5.2 Live Plus same-day rating with no lead-in. It came largely from new viewers who were children or not even born during Roseanne's initial run. Somehow Roseanne transcended age, recruiting droves of young viewers for a show whose two leads, Roseanne Barr and John Goodman, are both 65, well outside of the 18 to 49 demo. Okay, stop. When I was a teenager, I hated the fact that Hollywood and so much television was starting to become so youth-centric. I mean, I like seeing funny, talented, older, mature people do their thing because they're usually more experienced at it. They have more life experience. They have more to say and more to talk about. So, this surprise that younger people actually want to see older people, I think it's unwarranted. It tapped into the zeitgeist of middle America, tackling its economic problems and political leanings head on. There was curiosity how Roseanne would address Trump, which the show did in the first episode. In an encouraging sign, the novelty did not wear off, with the second episode rating even higher than the opener. ABC did a major marketing campaign for Roseanne, including a 3-day stunt during SXSW in Austin that drew huge crowds, and a tie-in with NASCAR, which is hugely popular in flyover states. NASCAR is the number one spectator sport in the country. And then there was Barr, always a firebrand. She did not shy away from controversy, flipping off Jimmy Kimmel and talking candidly about her political views while promoting the show, generating a slew of provocative headlines in the process. I could have gone either way, possibly alienating viewers, yeah right, but it worked, leaving many TV insiders shell-shocked today by the magnitude of the revival's rating success that revealed the untapped potential of comedies that provide realistic portrayals of blue-collar America. What's more, Roseanne did that while also making a social commentary, something rarely seen since All in the Family, Norman Lear's 1970s classic that has long been rumored to get a reboot. Oh, please don't reboot it. There's no way you can do that in 2018. No way. The TV business always has been reactionary. So when something works, others immediately look for ways to replicate it. Yeah, they're copycats. ABC, NBC, CBS all have classic sitcom revivals featuring the original cast on deck with Roseanne, Will and Grace. It's not really a revival, it wasn't that long ago. And CBS's upcoming Murphy Brown. I mean, that's the show. I mean, it was funny, but that's a show for upper class liberals in the city. It'll probably do well, but I mean, it's not what America's craving for. Fox, which was on the revival forefront with dramas 24, Live Another Day, Prison Break, and The X-Files, none of those revivals were good to me, I thought they sucked, is the only major network without a sitcom redo, so its executives likely will take a look at the library. Like Roseanne, Fox has a popular blue-collar sitcom and Married with Children, but its two stars Ed O'Neill and Katie Siegel are on other comedy series. Look, I liked Married with Children, but Married with Children we see so much of it these days, it was a deconstruction of the popular family sitcom. It was a spoof, a satire, a mockery even. I mean, it was very funny, but everything these days is a deconstruction. So I don't know where it would fit in 2018 or 2019. ABC's Modern Family and CBS's Superior Donuts, respectively. Modern Family's funny. Superior Donuts I've never seen it. Also hard to pull off would be That 70s Show or Malcolm in the Middle revivals with the original stars. I don't think those would work. CBS also has a classic, hugely popular blue-collar family comedy in its library, Everybody Loves Raymond, though several of the Emmy-winning series' celebrated cast members are no longer alive. Yeah, and for that reason, I mean, I don't think they don't need to be bringing back all these old things. Roseanne isn't just popular because it was a popular show back in the day. It's popular because, like mentioned, there's a big chunk of the American audience starved for a new type of perspective. Meanwhile, if Roseanne continues to be a ratings juggernaut, ABC, which is close to renewing the revival for a second season, well, I think that's pretty much, going to happen now, should look into bringing back its other big blue-collar sitcom hit of the 1990s, Home Improvement, which starred another open Trump supporter, Tim Allen. That was a great show, but again, I mean, unless you want to bring him back as a grandfather, I'd like to see Tim Allen come back in an all-new show. So, and first and foremost, make it funny. I mean, they can be Trump supporters, they can be independents that maybe voted for Trump, or independents that support Ralph Nader, but just not this cosmopolitan liberal elite that everything seems to be catering towards, which is such a small sliver of the American viewership. ABC was strongly criticized by the right in May when it canceled Allen's long-running sitcom Last Man Standing despite its strong viewership. Yeah, they canceled it right after he attended the presidential inauguration. Sounds like an executive was offended. It was a rare broadcast comedy with a central character who was a political conservative and devout Christian, adhering to traditional American values that appeals to viewers in the heartland. Yes, and most important, it was also pretty funny. I mean, that's the most important thing. At the time, producer 20th Century Fox TV unsuccessfully tried continuing the show elsewhere, including at Fox and the Country Music Channel, and may now revisit those efforts. Yeah, the production budget was too much for the Country Music Channel, but I mean, they could revive it or just bring back something all new. With the middle is going away. The middle, yeah, that's that Patricia Heaton. She's pro-life and all that, but it's like a poor man's Malcolm in the Middle. I didn't think it was that funny. With the middle going away, there was a vacuum in representing middle-class families on broadcast TV, and the success of Roseanne, no doubt, will help get more blue-collar sitcoms on the air. Good. But I don't want it to be like Jim Belushi's According to Jim, which is, it's got superficial blue-collar characters, but it's really just more social justice propaganda, in disguise. I want it to be real and sincere, authentic. We might see that happening as soon as next month when the broadcast networks pick their new series for the next season out of the dozens of pilots currently in production. Whatever's currently in production is probably the same old crap. They may need to wait probably for the next season when the next wave of Roseanne-inspired comedies come out. And a lot of them are just going to be the same old crap, just superficially dressed up to trick the Midwest audience into thinking it's like Roseanne. So that's it there. Let's see the comments here. Fox News has been pissing its pants like an excited dog over this, even though it's not pro-Trump as much as it is tackling political divisions between family members in a satirical way. But of course, Fox Noise won't ever pass up the opportunity to beat the drums and declare flyover state conservatives the only real Americans. See, this is what people can't stand, are asshats like this. One, he's obsessed with Fox News. I don't even watch Fox News. It's corporate news. All cable news is. They don't represent blue-collar values. That's for damn sure. The show is not pro-Trump. Roseanne herself is unapologetically pro-Trump. But the fact that it doesn't viciously mock Trump voters or just outright ignore them like this jackwagon would want it to do, that's a huge breath of fresh air. And we need to get away from people that are obsessed with Fox Noise and they only want to mock. They think good comedy is like Trevor Noah or Sarah Silverman or Jimmy Kimmel, just mocking people. It's mean-spirited comedy. These are good people. I'm a relatively good person most of the time. People don't like being mocked all the time. We have a right to enjoy culture and participate in it just as much as anyone else, regardless of our viewpoints on political issues like trade, taxes, and immigration. So, yeah, that's the only comment I need to read. I mean, this person's railing against Fox News when this is Deadline.com. I mean, freaking nut job. All right, whatever. I'm done. I'm very happy to hear about Roseanne's success, and I look forward to continued success and more shows in the spirit of that wonderful show. Demon out.